The slap echoed across the gas station like a gunshot, sharp, humiliating, final. The old man's cap fell off, rolling into the dust beside his trembling cane. For a second, the world seemed to freeze, the birds stopped singing, the traffic hum faded, and everyone's eyes turned toward the young TikToker, his phone raised, recording the cruelty he thought would make him famous. But standing at pump number 3, engines still rumbling low like angry thunder, were 40 bikers, leather-clad, tattooed, and glaring in disbelief. And in that moment, the TikToker had no idea that his 5-second stunt would awaken a storm he'd never forget. Backhand index pointing right. If you believe in kindness, respect, and second chances, then please take a moment to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. Your support helps us spread stories that remind the world what humanity still means. The old man's name was Henry Carter, a 78-year-old Vietnam veteran who spent his mornings helping out at the gas station down the road, cleaning windows and pumping fuel for strangers who barely noticed the faded army patch on his jacket. He didn't do it for money, he did it because it gave him a sense of purpose. Since his wife passed away 2 years earlier, those short conversations and small gestures kept him connected to life. He'd always greet people with a gentle smile, his voice shaky but warm. But that morning, something shattered inside him when a young man, barely in his 20s, full of swagger, called him a dusty old fossil and demanded he move faster. Henry had apologized softly, his hands trembling as he tightened the fuel cap. The boy laughed, called him useless, and before anyone could intervene, his hand shot out. The slap landed across Henry's face, snapping his glasses sideways. The TikToker's friend behind the camera laughed and yelled, "Yo! That's going viral, bro." It was meant to be a prank, just another social experiment for likes and views. But it wasn't funny. Not to the 40 bikers who had just finished their charity ride for veterans and stopped to refuel. Their leader, a broad-shouldered man named Jack Bulldog Reynolds, froze when he saw the hit. Jack was a Marine vet himself, with a gray beard and eyes that had seen too much war and too little mercy. The silence that followed was deafening, broken only by the hum of idling engines. The bikers watched as Henry struggled to pick up his cap, too shaken to speak. The young TikToker sneered, still smirking into his phone, until he noticed 40 pairs of boots moving in his direction, slow and deliberate, like a gathering storm. Jack stepped forward first. He didn't say a word at first, he didn't have to. His presence alone carried the weight of unspoken authority. The TikToker tried to backpedal, mumbling something about, just a prank, but Jack's voice cut through the air like gravel and thunder. He told the boy to put the phone down, but when the kid hesitated, one of the bikers snatched it, ending the live stream right there. The kid's face went pale as he realized this wasn't a game anymore. Henry stood quietly by the pump, his cheek red, eyes glistening with shame more than pain. He whispered something no one expected to hear, "Please, don't hurt him." The old man's compassion stopped the bikers in their tracks. Here he was, the victim, still protecting the one who humiliated him. That moment hit Jack hard. He turned to his crew, then back to the TikToker, and said something simple yet heavy, "He showed you mercy. You're gonna learn what that means." Instead of fists, their revenge took a different form. Jack made the boy and his camera crew spend the next few hours helping Henry. They cleaned cars, washed windows, refilled air, and even carried groceries for customers under Henry's supervision. Every biker stood guard around the station, watching, ensuring respect was restored in the same place it was broken. The humiliation the TikToker once intended for views turned into humility under the gaze of men who knew the meaning of service, sacrifice, and honor. By the time the sun began to set, the boy's arrogance had drained away. He was quiet now, tired and ashamed. Henry, though still shaken, offered him water and a gentle pat on the shoulder. He said, "You don't earn respect by taking it from others. You earn it by giving it." Those words sank deep into the young man's heart. That night, Jack gathered everyone, the bikers, Henry, and the boy, around the parking lot. He took out a small American flag patch from his vest and handed it to the TikToker. "You don't deserve this yet," Jack said, "but one day, if you start living right, maybe you will." The boy broke down. For the first time in years, he cried, not from fear, but from guilt. Days later, a new video surfaced online, not from the original live stream, but from security footage the gas station owner released. It showed the slap, the silence, and then what followed, the boy helping, the bikers standing united, and Henry forgiving him. The video went viral for all the right reasons. People around the world were moved by Henry's grace and the bikers' silent lesson. The young TikToker made a public apology, not for clout, but because he truly meant it. He deleted his old channel and started a new one called Second Chance Stories, dedicated to spreading kindness, helping veterans, and teaching respect to the youth who followed him. Months later, on Veterans Day, that same boy showed up at the same gas station with a gift, a custom wheelchair for Henry, paid for with the money he'd raised through his channel. When Henry saw it, he teared up. The bikers showed up too, forming a line on their bikes, engines rumbling low like a salute. Jack smiled as Henry rolled forward, waving his cap proudly. In that moment, everyone knew something rare had happened, not revenge, but redemption. Backhand index pointing right. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, and share this video to keep the spirit of kindness alive. Don't forget to subscribe to Kindness Corner, because in a world that often forgets compassion, your engagement keeps humanity alive. Speech balloon special request: tell us in the comments, what would you have done if you saw someone disrespect an old veteran like Henry? Your words might inspire someone to choose kindness today.